because of the trauma on his face, he doesn't like anybody around his head. Well, we had a little girl, she was 6 years old, and her daddy tried to throw her out of the car going down 85. And he tied her to the bed frame with electrical cord and raped her. And he made her and her little brother watch while he beat the mom and threatened to kill the mom in front of them, and then he'd kill them. She wouldn't talk to us at all because of the trauma, and she would just hide behind her mother's leg. And right in the middle of what we were talking about, talking to the mother, she took off running. And she took off running out to the pasture with 5 horses there. She was coming in on Red's blind side, and Red did something we've never seen him do before. And he turns around, I guess he hears me screaming her name to please stop, and he begins to walk toward this little girl. She's only 6, you know, and I'm thinking, what in the world is this horse doing? And the closer Red got to this little girl, the lower he put his head. And I still couldn't figure out what in the world he was doing. I didn't understand why he was coming toward her. And the little girl was just running as fast as she could, and I couldn't catch her. And by the time she runs right into Red's nose, you know, just runs right into him. And by the time they meet, his head is about 20 inches off the ground. And that little girl just wraps her arms around big old Red's head and lays her head on his head. And he never lets anybody touch his head. And he let her, they stayed that way for about 40 seconds. And we have pictures of her. She's a poster child for us. And she came for 2.5 years to see us for therapy, just to see Red. And the only one she'd talk to would be Red. We blew up a big picture of Red and put it on her wall. We helped her move into the projects, and we got her a little necklace so she could wear it at school, because the mere mention of her dad's name, she would drop in the fetal position under the table. We put a snapshot of Red in her book bag so she could take that picture of him to school. And so that little girl, through that big horse, learned that her Heavenly Father would not do to her what her earthly father did.
A lot of times people who come here have already been through the traditional talk therapy methods. And it's not cheap, it's not easy. Sometimes they can't afford the expensive therapies that are going to help their kids. One of the things that we try to offer here is help. That costs. There are things that we can do and there are things that we can't do. And a lot of what we can't do is because of the financial instability right now for all nonprofits and especially ministries.
Our limiting factor a lot of times is not having enough people or enough resources.
We need volunteers and we need financial support because families are hurting now more than ever because of what we've been through as an economy.
Sustainability is a key word for us, and we need sustainability. We need to be able to make it should things continue to change for the nonprofit world, and as times get harder for folks, you know, they can't afford the help that they need. You know, that's like putting a price tag on air or water. You know, how do you put a price tag on hope? We want to be able to continue to stand in the gap for those people and offer it for free. But in order to do that, we need people to come alongside and partner with us and help hold us up in that gap in order to reach other people for the community.